Hey, it's been a while, but we are back and we are playing Final Girl. And we are playing the Bad Times at Buddyland feature film box, which is new to season three and actually is one of the first feature film boxes to be sold, like, individually online outside of some of the season box sets. Um, I was able to get this through a Kickstarter pre-order. I'm sure it's in stores by now. Anyway, I'm presuming that most of you know the Final Girl system. Each feature film box modifies the basic rules of the game. This one does not modify very heavily. There are very few new mechanics added. We are going to spawn a bunch of minions, which are um, additional enemies that are unique to the core rulebook. And one of the things that is new, however, is that our uh, animatronic killer, Billy, has a special bloodlust track that has some, like, you can shuffle and mix up some of the effects that happen on the track. And I love this. I really think they do it more. They honestly, I wish they provide twice as many of these little pieces because, and I would love to do this with other killers. Like when you know exactly what's going to happen, you can plan and strategize a little better. But the variety, the option of variety, keeps things a little unpredictable. We don't know exactly what is going to happen every time, and I really love that. Um, that is really the only mechanic that's been added to the game. One of the conditions unique to this is that because Billy is electronic, he draws power. We need to shut down the power. If we shut down all these power stations, then he will no longer be able to regenerate his health. He can be killed if there's power left, but he will keep regenerating. Um, that is really it. I've chosen a setup card called Pizza Party. There's a party room here. We also have somebody in the kitchen, two characters in the dining area. These four spaces here are, like arcade games. We've got somebody working the prize counter. Nobody's on stage at this time. There's an empty janitor's closet. Somebody is here in the bathroom. And we've got a jungle gym and a ball pit. Uh, Point of the game is for the final girl, in this case, Rena here, to rescue as many of these victims as possible to get them out of harm's way. By doing that, she will gain benefits. The more the killer and his minions kill victims, the more bloodlust they acquire and the more difficult they become to deal with. All right, so we start the game with an event card. And let's see what event we pull. All right, there's a pizza delivery guy. So that means that the character closest to the entrance becomes a pizza delivery guy. And what this guy does is if we're in a space with him in a searchable area, which are the orange bordered areas, they will help us. They will give us additional dice towards searching. If they're killed, all the victims in their space and adjacent spaces panic. All right, so the event was a pizza guy showing up. Every turn, we spend cards from our hand. These cards allow us to literally spend time in the game to do various things like walking, running, resting, trying to attack, stopping and focusing. And we will play these cards from our hand, and then with whatever time we have remaining, we will use those to purchase additional things that we can do, like running faster, like being able to search, causing distractions, improvising and planning to increase our odds of doing things better, and then, of course, more attacks and healing and the ability to guard and retaliate against attacks. So, these cards we will begin the game with. We have some item decks up here. I don't know how well you can see those with my lighting. There's a flash camera, a birthday cake, and a bag of marbles that are available. I think the flash camera and the bag of marbles are really to, like, trip up or pause the stun the bad guys. So let's look at our starting hand. It is very important that we keep the level of horror down in this game. Uh, this character really, or this game, this killer really drives up the horror track. Um, and there's another final girl that comes with this game, this version of the game. What's her name? Gwyn. And Gwyn is all about lowering the horror and has a special ability that allows her to continue to keep it low. Rena doesn't have that benefit. Rena is somebody who's a little more resourceful in taking additional actions by taking additional cards from her discard pile. So what we're going to do with her right here is we're going to focus. Now, I already recorded a game that unfortunately I had technical issues. In that game, I played for 30 minutes through about 10 turns, and I rolled zeros every time, just blank dice every time. And I wanted to post it to show how brutal it was, but then it deleted itself. Here we have one blank and then one partial success. This means we can spend 2 cards to make this successful. So if we want to do that, we'll spend our short rest and our weak attack card. This is probably how the first turn of almost every final girl game goes. We're going to get 1 success, which means we are going to lower our horror track 1, and it is going to cost us 1 time to do so. So the clock ticks down. All right, next we are going to try moving. So we're going to attempt to take a walk. Got to do the same damn thing. Sacrifice 2 cards just to be able to move 1 space, but it will cost me a minute of time. So we only have 4 minutes left. By being able to walk 1 space, I'm just going to go up here into that space with that person. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll go up 1 space. Okay. So that's it. That's all we have time for. We have spent all the cards that we have. We have 4 time left, and so now we're going to use that time in order to purchase additional cards. I am going to spend 2 to sprint. I'm going to try to sprint twice. Or am I going to try to sprint and search? I'm going to try to sprint twice. Usually it's good to buy these cards that let me re-roll because it's so easy to roll poorly, but I'm going to just try that. So we spent 4 minutes to buy that. That goes back up to 6, and our killer has their first action. Any minions on the board move first, and actually there is a minion. I forgot to spawn one in the setup of the game. We are spawning Allie, who is not surprisingly a gator. Allie has 2 health, and Allie will spawn 1 space away from the killer. So we're going to actually put them there. I might have made a very different move. Okay, so this tells us that the killers, there's no boot icons, so they don't move. They just attack victims or me, and they get stabby. And Billy does the same thing, except he also has a little recharge icon, so if he was hurt, he could kind of heal himself up. All right, so they don't hurt anybody because they're not in spaces with anybody. So that means we just go to the next bit of the killer phase, which is to draw a terror card. And he's turning them back on. If there are no power shutdowns on the map, discard this. Okay, it sucks when that happens because this terror deck is a countdown deck. Once we run out of cards, Billy gets very powerful. All right, next terror card. They are alive. If there's no buddies, discard this, but there are. So buddies are going to target victims primarily, and then me, and then they're going to move and they're going to attack. So Allie actually is going to just move into our space and attack the victim I was trying to save. The victim dies, and that causes Billy's bloodlust to go up, and we reveal our first effect, which is a horror icon. So the horror track that we took some time to lower now goes back up to where it began. Next, it says if at least one victim was killed, bloodlust goes up. So it actually goes up a second time and triggers the next effect, which is mercifully no effect. All right, that's it. The bad guys have gone. We then go into the panic phase and the upkeep phase. Nothing happens there, so we go back. Now, what I didn't do is when I had spent these cards initially, I was supposed to recycle them. So do that now. We go back to Rena's turn, and she has taken that 4 minutes to prepare some sprinting. So she's going to try to run. And here, continuing a trend from the previous game, we completely fail. I'm going to have her lose a bit of health in order to move 1 space and lose 2 time doing it. So it costs her another 2 minutes. She will move 1 space and her turn will be over. Actually, I won't move 1 space. I'll just take the damage, lose the 2 time, and then try again. All right, this time we got 2 successes. So she can move 3 spaces, but it does cost her 1 more minute. So we only have 3 out of our 6 minutes we started with. And Rena uses that time to sprint like hell. Away from Allie to the prize counter. She's going to grab the guy at the prize counter and take him to an exit space and tell him to get the hell out of here. Whoops. And then she's going to run from there into the party room with these 2 and tell them that there's a killer on the loose. So for saving this person, Rena will get to move 1 space according to this little prize she gets. So that means she can go an extra space and say, come on, you guys, get out of here. And so the people from the party room now exit the game. And she gets 2 more little prizes. She gets to take any top item card, take a guard card, heal a health. I'm going to have her lower the horror track. So we're really playing tug of war with this. And I'm going to have her spend another 2. Yeah, let's take a top item card, which is going to be this bag of marbles. Now the bag of marbles come with 3 little icons. I can put these down in adjacent spaces, and if anybody slips and falls on them, they will get hurt, which would be a good way to help me take out buddies like Allie. Okay, there's one more thing I can do if I want, which is, since I was in this space briefly, I can have chosen to spend a time to just hit the switch. So we're going to shut down that power, but that will cost me 1 minute to do so, so I only have 2 minutes left out of the 6 we started with. And I will use those 2 minutes to acquire new cards. So I get back all the 0 cost cards for free. That will include being able to walk. So I'll be able to move. When I go back to that prize counter, I could do some searching for items. I want some better items, like maybe some weapons. So I'm going to spend 2 on a search card. And that will cost me 1, 2. So now we reset this back up to 6. We recycle the cards that we spent this turn. We put aside our hand for next turn. And we then go and we deal with Allie and Billy, who are not in spaces with anyone to hurt, so they remain where they are. But we then go to their terror deck. And we do the splits. A lot of people are going to assume this is based on Five Nights at Freddy's, and it is, but it's based on all like mascot horror genre. And of that, the game seems to make a lot of reference to the Banana Splits movie, which was an old 70s or 60s Hanna-Barbera cartoon that became a slasher film in the 2000s. So all the buddies here are going to target and move. It says here that Allie moves 1 space. So we're going to see Allie move toward the closest victim which is 1, 2 spaces away. 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, 3 spaces away. So they're going to move here. Then Billy targets victims, moves, and attacks. So Billy will move 1 space down from wherever he was hiding into the jungle gym and murder some poor kid. That kid dies, and Billy's bloodlust goes up, which causes that horror track, which we've been trying to struggle over, it causes it to go up ding, ding, twice. And that's bad. Then Billy will target me and attempt the same thing. Billy has movement of 1. I'm up here, so Billy is basically just going to come back to where he was. And that is it for this tarot card. So we go to the panic phase, the planning phase, the upkeep phase. And now it's my turn again. I'm going to want to focus to try to continue to struggle to get this track down, because the higher this goes, the less dice I will get to roll. Okay, and with 1 success on my focus card, that means I do get to lower this one, but it costs me a minute. Let's see. Next, I'm going to walk. And I have 1, potentially 2 successes. I'm just going to take the 1 success to move 1 space. It costs me a minute of time, though. And what I'm going to do is move down to the prize counter. And now I'm going to rummage through the prize counter, searching for something to help me in my fight against evil. I get to take the top item card, but it costs me a minute to do so. So clock ticks down from 6 where we started to now 3. So it's taken about 3 minutes for me to move to the prize counter and rummage through it. And what do I find but a flash camera? All right, this takes up 1 of my hand spaces, which you can't see too well. It's right here. I have 2 hands, or a space for a 2-handed item. So right now we're going to hold the camera in 1 hand. The marbles are in our backpack. We can use them at any time. And speaking of which, I think I will use them. I know that Billy is going to have to come out here. So I'm going to spend an additional minute to just drop. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Maybe I'll put 1 here. No, Allie is going this way. You know what? I'm not. Because if there's no point in trying to hurt Billy until I can get a little further into the game, because he's just going to regenerate. So we're not going to do that. What we are going to do is, let's see, we could... Oh, did I spend the time? Yes, I did. We can keep walking. We can focus. We can rest to get that health back. I'm going to try to keep moving. Please don't fail. Okay, great. Not only did we get that, but we can either discard these cards to get 2 successes and move 2 spaces, or we can save these cards and use them for other things. Let's see. If we move 2 spaces, we can actually go in here and then bring this person up into the janitor's closet. And while we're there, we could spend a time to shut this down. So that's what I'm going to do. But it is going to cost me an additional time. And moving twice meant I needed to sacrifice 2 cards, which I'm going to do right there. So that's all we can do on this turn. We can still focus if we want, but I'm going to actually turn this in to gain a time and then use that time to make some purchases. So now with my 3 time, I am going to purchase a sprint card to move faster. And you can't see it under here, but this close call costs 1. So 1, 2, 3. We spend all of our currency there. And those cards will be set aside for our next turn. The cards that we spent this turn will go back into the tableau here. And we will reset the time up to 6. And now our killers get to go. There's nobody in any of the killer spaces and no need to recharge, so they're not going to do anything with these basic attacks. We're going to go straight to the terror deck. And terror is struck. They are hungry for blood. Wish I had some better quality going on here. If there's no victims in the kitchen, parting room, or dining area, discard this, but there are. Place the killer in the kitchen, parting room, or dining area, whichever has the most victims. Okay, he is going to show up in the dining area. Jump scare. He will then kill twice. So, should be no surprise. These two die. So, boom, boom. We have 2 more dead victims for a total of 4. Bloodlust goes up for that first victim, causing me to spawn another buddy. And then it goes up a second time, triggering a dark power. Buddy's dark power is that he has a death lust, which means he gets a +1 to his movement and attack values. So he now basically has move and attack of 3 each. All right, we are going to spawn a buddy. And so the next one of his animatronic pals to appear is Cam, who has 2 health. And Cam will appear 1 space away from Buddy. It has to be 1 adjacent space, so sadly, Cam is going to need to jump scare one of these fools. So we're going to take out that one. We then go into the panic phase, and I believe... Do you panic if you're in a space with minions? No, you panic if you're in a space with the killer. Please leave a message in the comments if I have that incorrectly. But I did check the manual the other day, and I did not see anything about it. Okay, it now becomes Rena's turn, and she can only sprint. And so let's see how she does. 2 successes would be wonderful. These are not 2 successes, in case you didn't notice. So we're going to spend 2 time out of our busy schedule to re-roll both those dice. I guess I need a 2-handed. Yeah, that's what we needed. Okay, 2 successes, so that was worth it. Now I spend an additional minute, but at least I get to move 3 spaces now. So let's make them count. She's going to move 1 space to get this person free, and by doing that, she'll get to heal that health that she had lost previously. And then she has 2 more moves. So she will go 1 into the party room and 2. Oh man, is that a good idea? What are the other options? What are the other options? To come down the middle here, to maybe attack Allie. Maybe we should go on the offense. Let's go after Allie. 1, 2. We got to get these buddies off the board. And I'm going to drop the marbles. Oh, but they have to enter a space for it to take effect. So dropping the marbles after they're already there doesn't really do anything. Let's go 1, 2 to here so I can try to go get the power. And then I'm also going to just put this, See, Allie's not going to come up for me. Allie's going to go for the victim. So hold on to your marbles. All right, that's it. It wasn't sexy, but that's our move. We now have 3 time left. So we're going to get all of our 0 cost cards back for the next round, and with 3 we can. I think we're gonna have to continue to sprint. So get this for 2 and this for 1. Also, I'm gonna need to get a guard card soon. I do have walk cards, but I'm gonna take the sprint. Okay. Then we recycle the cards we spent this round, and we reset the timer, and just like that, it's now our killer's turn. They're not in a space. Oh no, Cam. Cam is a minion in a space with a victim, so immediately that victim dies. And that causes the bloodlust to rise, which causes the horror track to once again go up. All right. And then we pull a terror card. Animatronical. Spawn a new buddy and draw the next terror card. All right. The next buddy who is on the board is going to be Toby. Toby's he's the strongest with 3 health. We really got to start taking these guys out. Okay, and Toby will appear 1 space away from the killer. Damn it, which puts him in a space with that person. Right here. These spawns are totally jump scares, which is pretty thematic. We now go to the panic phase, and again, I do not think you panic in a space with a minion. And then the upkeep phase, where nothing is currently happening. All right, back to my cards. Wait, no, not back to my cards. It said to spawn a second terror card. So we're not done. How'd they sneak in? Okay, we're going to roll a dice, and we're going to place some characters. We're going to roll 3 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to get 1 person in the dining area and 2 people in the party room. So 1 person shows up in the room with the killer, and then 2 show up in the what did I say? The kitchen? No, party room. 1, 2. All right, and then it says an event happens. So let's go to the event deck. Tragic collapse. This is terrible. We're going to roll a die, and somewhere we are going to have like a cave-in. All right. All right, on a 3, it says the kitchen caves in. So everyone in there gets hurt for 1 damage. Toby takes 1 damage and loses 1 of his health tokens over here because he was in there. And then this victim is killed, which means the terror goes up, and that we're going to discard the next terror card. So we are ever closer to the end of the game. Also, he now has, because of his death lust, he has 4. He attacks for 4, and he moves for 4 spaces. Okay, this is real bad. That event is over. Damn. Nothing happens in the upkeep phase. We go to Rene, and she is desperate to start attacking, but she really doesn't have much to attack with. She doesn't have any weapons. She's just got these marbles, and she's going to have to buy some attack cards. But first, I'm going to have her try to sprint. And with 1 success, she can move 2 spaces at the cost of 1 time. So she will move, 2 spaces. So she will go 1, 2, and spend a time to flip this. All right, she now has 4 time left. So she can use that to buy something like a Furious Strike or a Retaliate card, which would be very important. First, I'm going to try to walk into the space here with the pizza guy, because I would like to try to search for a weapon. Okay, she has to discard 2 cards, so she'll discard a short rest and the other walk card to make this a success, which will cost her 1 time to move 1 space down so she can search on her next turn. I am then going to discard a focus card to bring me back up 1 time. So we now have 4 time, and then I'm going to go into the planning phase, and I'm going to use that to either get a Retaliate. Oh, actually, I want to be able to search. I'm going to discard 2 more cards so that I can buy Retaliate for 4 and search for 2. Or Furious Strike for 4 and search for 2. All right. So what I just did is a little iffy with the rules. Normally, you decide what cards to sacrifice, and then once you go to the planning phase, like, you really are married to what you did. I just let myself sort of retcon and discard 2 extra cards. But this game is tough as hell, and I'm going to just allow that. Sorry. I'm sorry, Final Girl. If I win, you can call it a completely fraudulent win, but I don't care. Okay, I'm now going to discard all the cards that were spent this turn, which is all my 0-cost cards and that sprint that we made. And now it's going to become the killer's turn. They are not in any spaces with anyone that they would attack, so they're just going to draw another one of these Devastating Terror cards, which says that all the guys are going to go into Billy's space. So they're all going to rush to Billy. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this guy should have panicked a while ago, by the way. He would have went in here. I think he would have died, and the Bloodlust would have gone up. Shoot. And it would have triggered an event, oh my god, which is that Nick the Janitor appears. Nick appears up here in the janitor's closet, and he can follow me into the killer's space, and he can hurt the killer. So we want to go get him. All right. So now everybody's in Billy's space. If there are no buddies in Billy's space, raise the Bloodlust, but the horror goes up twice. So we're going to raise this twice. 1, 2. And you can see here, by going up the 2nd time, it has now robbed me of 1 of my dice. I now go from 2 to 1 die, which is absolutely tragic. All right, we then go to the panic phase. Nobody's panicking. Upkeep. And then it becomes my turn again. I wish I kept a focus card, because now I only have 1 die. However, by searching in a space with the pizza delivery boy, I get an additional 2 dice to search. So that's lucky. All right, and that allows me, let's see, what's the top item card in the ball pit? We don't know, it's blank. If I discard another card, I can take 2 cards and choose between them. So I'm going to discard, well, actually, I'm just going to discard Close Call to re-roll 1 of them. Ah, man, that sucks. Okay, I get to take 1 card, but it does cost me 1 time. All right, so we're going to go to the item deck, and we're going to see what we find inside this ball pit. An energy drink. Not my favorite card, but it can be discarded in this phase to move up to 2 spaces or to gain 5 time. So I'm going to guzzle this to gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 time. Chug, chug, chug. All right. So we really got to bring that terror down. So now we're going to use this time to gain back our... We're officially going to the planning phase. I did not discard anything. We're going to take our 0 cost cards. We have 6 cards in our hand. We can hold up to 4 more. We're going to take a distraction card for 3 because that can help us lower the horror. 1, 2, 3. We now have 7 left. I'm going to take critical blow for 6 and close call for 7. So we're going to want to take the fight to these guys soon. All right, that's all 7. So we're going to reset this to 6 and we're going to put back the cards we spent this turn. It was very tempting for me to want to move to like rescue the pizza guy because that would... I don't think that gives me a bonus actually. Okay. We're done. And now killers go. They're all in the same space together. They're not with any victims. Let's see what their terror card wants them to do. Oh, it's a short circuit. Anyone in a space with an active power would get electrocuted. But there are no victims. So we discard this. Oh my God, we're discarding a lot of cards. We draw the next card, which is really bad. They want her. Panic all victims in my space. Okay, we only have 1 victim in my space. It's the pizza guy. And on a roll of 5, he actually runs to the exit. Next, it says move all the enemies 1 space toward me. Okay, so they're all going to come up here. And then it says for each enemy in my space, raise the horror, which fortunately there are none. And then it says to have an event card. Playtime shenanigans. Place 2 new victims in the ball pit and in the jungle gym. Jungle gym right here. And the ball pit with me. So every once in a while, some things happen that can be good for me, you know? It's rare, but that just happened. Because we can now rescue those people. Panic phase, nothing happens, and now it's Rena's turn. And we're going to want to try to focus to lower that horror track. All right. Oh, wait. People who know this game are probably yelling at me. I heard you guys. I heard you. In the upkeep phase, when there are no terror cards left in the terror deck, we flip over this finale card, and Buddy's going to do an encore, which means these guys are now moving and attacking. Before every turn, they're going to move and attack, and Billy's going to attack twice, which is his little encore. All right, now we're going to attempt this focus. Oh, thank God. All right, so the terror track at least goes, for the moment, down by 1, which gives us an additional die. It costs us a minute of time to do that, though. I'm tempted to focus again, but first I want to walk. All right, with 1 success, we move 1 space at the cost of 1 time. But this should be good because we take these 2 with us. And by moving into this exit space, these 3 characters are going to flee the scene. So, one of them is going to allow us to take a guard card into our hand. And the other 2 are going to give us 1 time each. So our time goes back up twice. All right, it's getting crowded here, but let's see. We saved all these people, and Rena now has the ability to take back one of the 0 cost cards in her discard pile every turn. Isn't that nice? Okay, it's still her turn. She's still moving. We can focus again. We can walk. We can try to cause that distraction now that we have 2 dice. Let's do that. Let's try a distraction. Oh, wow. And with 2 successes, our luck has turned a little bit. We get to lower the horror track twice. 1, 2. Gives us a little security. And we gain 2 time. All right. Not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's someone at my door. All right, well, that was really nice. I got a nice delivery. Still our turn. What are we going to do? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can only take 2 more cards, and I have 8. So I'm going to take a retaliate card for 4. Sprint for 2. Actually, in 2 sprints. All right, there's a lot we can do this next turn. So we are going to put back the cards we used this round. We have spent 8 time. Oh, she actually gets back one of the cards this round, but we don't have room. You have a hand limit of 10, so that's exactly how many cards we have. Okay, so we are really loading up our hand, investing in future turns, and trying to go on the offense, even though we don't really have any weapons. I should have maybe tried to predict what the killers were going to do, but I know they're moving this way. Oh yeah, so I should have put some marbles down. All right, I'm going to live with my mistake, and the minions are all going to target victims, move, and attack. We're going to go in initiative order. Toby moves first, and he moves 1 space, so he comes down here. Next is Allie, who has 1 movement and also comes down 1 space. And then we have Cam, who also has 1 movement. So all 3 of them come down there. Then Buddy goes, and he recharges any health he lost, and then he moves twice. He moves 4, so he goes 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm lucky he didn't come for me, but he prioritizes. Oh no, he only comes for me. Dude, okay, sorry. He does, he comes right for me. And he attacks. And boy, when he attacks, it says here for 3, plus 1 is 4. And because of this, he's going to attack twice. So, let's enjoy that. For his first attack, I will guard. He's attacking for 4. I am going to have to discard 4 cards out of this 10 I have. I'll discard Focus and Walk to turn one of these into a success, which would reduce his attack by 2, but that's not enough. I mean, we could let it through, but I don't want to. So I'm going to let go of Short Rest and maybe Weak Attack, because we have stronger attacks to block all of his attack. Now he's going to attack me a second time, and this time we're going to retaliate. All right. By retaliating, I can reduce his attack by 2, or I can discard 2 more cards. So I'll discard a Close Call and one of my sprints. These are a lot of sacrifices. In order, to ignore all the damage and do 2 damage to him. All right, so we ignore all the attacks he did to us, and we do 2 damage to him. If there were minions in the space, they would take damage for him, but they're not here. All right. There's no terror card. So now we're going to try making these attacks. We're going to attempt a furious strike. If we fail, wait, it could end our turn. Let's do a critical blow first. First, let's spend 1 time to drop a marble into the space. Well, nobody's going to enter that space. Well, they will if they're looking for victims, maybe. All right. Critical blow. Come on, man. 1 success. I would have to discard for any more. 1 success does 2 damage to him, lowers the horror, and ends my turn. So we lower the horror by 1. We do 2 damage to Buddy. And my turn ends, so I can't do the Furious Strike. If I would get to do 1 more damage to him if I discarded these 2 cards, but I don't. So here's where I think I'm probably going to die. Well, not yet. It's still my turn. We're going to sprint. Try to get out of here. All right. With 1 success on our sprint, we can move up to 2 spaces. Oh, wait, no, you can't. The critical blow ended your turn. Shit, we're dead. I was so excited to hit him, but this is the risk I took. Oh, so wait, so that means I have to discard these 2, right? No, if I'm going to survive to the next turn, I need to try to keep them. Yeah, I'm going to try to keep them. Let's just see what happens. But I can't guard. So if he hits me for 4, I'll be dead because I only have 6 health. We're banking on the fact that I might have some extra health there. All right, so my turn is over. I get 1 of my cards back. I'll take a short rest card. I have 5 time, so I'll take a guard for 2, so that'll help at least. Get my 0 cost cards back. And I'll take a close call back. Or I'll buy a close call. All right, that's it for the planning phase. We will put these cards back now. All right, and baddies go. So minions all move toward these guys. And they can't get through here. They have to go around, but I'm going to have them go through here as if they're going this way because I'm in charge. So I'm going to have them each take 1 damage from the marbles. Oh, wait. Yeah, it says if anyone. Okay, great. So we lose that marbles token, but each one of them takes a hit. So that takes 1 off each. For what it's worth. All right, and now Billy is already in a space with me, so the first thing he does is he recharges 1 of his health tokens. Okay, and then he attacks me twice for 4 each. So for the first attack of 4, I try to guard, hoping to avoid the attack. All right, by discarding 2 cards, I can avoid all the damage. Now he attacks me a second time, and I can't block it. So this time, he hits me for 1, 2, 3, 4. And I eat it. We live to survive another round. All right. We don't want to risk doing a furious strike because if we fail, our turn is over. Even if we succeed mildly, our turn is over. So instead, we're going to sprint to try to get the hell out of there. Oh, fuck. I would have to... I only have 3 cards. I'll discard 2 to turn one of these into a success, so I can now move 2 spaces. He's going to catch up to me on this next turn, no problem, but at least I'll be able to buy, guard, and retaliate. Yeah, I'm going to move 2 spaces. I'm going to go through these guys. 1. Actually, should I go this way to try to shut this off, or should I run up here because this guy gives me bonus to attack? I'm going to try running up here. 1, 2. No, then they'll all just come into my space and attack me. 1, 2. Spend 1 time to drop another marble behind me. And then I dropped it here. So I ran and I dropped this marble. And now I will discard my close call card to gain 1 time back so that I have 6 time, so that I can purchase retaliate for 4 and guard for 2 and hopefully survive 2 attacks. But I would have to roll perfectly. Plus, she gets one of her 0-cost cards back for free. So we'll take walk or short rest. I guess we'll take short rest, because 1 heart may make all the difference. Oh, and I get back my other 0-cost cards as well. Would that change what I take then? No, it wouldn't. Okay. Well, folks, this is it. This is the last turn, I guarantee you. Killers move 1 space toward the victims, so they go up here. Even though they would be going after the victims, you know, if I had moved here to get to this guy, they would enter my space and they would just get to attack. But they're actually targeting the victims. Now, Buddy gets to move twice and absolutely takes a hit from the marbles, which is a wash because he gains a heart back at the top of his round, but then he stepped on the marbles. He continues into my space and he attacks me twice, and this is where the game ends, really. Oh, I didn't recycle these. All right, let's see what happens. We are obviously going to try to retaliate. Oh shit, wait. When an enemy would move into your space, you can instead make it stop in an adjacent space. I have the frickin' camera. Oh my god, I should have been using this. Oh my god, he can't move in. I use 1 of 2 uses on my flash camera. I forgot I had it. Thank God. And it has been in my hands the whole time, right here. Oh, thank you. Holy shit, so I stopped him. When an enemy would move into your space, to instead make it stop. Okay, well that would be his first move though, right? So then, I moved the wrong one. So then he would obviously try again on his second move. So I would do it again. I would use the other flash, and now that's done. But it did let us live for one more turn, and I almost forgot about it. Okay. Holy crap, that's exciting. I'm just prolonging the inevitable, but that was exciting. We then go into the panic phase and the upkeep phase where nothing is currently happening. We don't need these. All we have is a walk, but I'm also going to try to rest because it will matter. If he hits me for 4 and I block for 2, I'm going to need every heart that matters. Oh, shoot. I would have to discard 2 cards, so I'll discard weak attack and focus because I need to walk to at least let me heal 1. Okay, and then it costs me 1 time. Next, we're going to walk. Oh, I cannot discard to walk. This is crazy. If I want to move 1 space, I would have to lose the heart I just gained and lose 2 time. Instead, I'll just lose 2 time, which brings me down to 3. That's really a shame. So with that 3, we get these. I can take back 1 of these. I'll take short rest again or weak attack. I'll take short rest. I'm going to take 2 close calls to help me re-roll. That's 1, 2. Or no, sorry. Guard for 2 and 1 close call. No, I'll take the 2 close calls and then burn 1 time because I need those close calls to defend myself now. All right, I recycle these cards and it's their turn. So these guys now go up in here. They're moving very slowly for endgame. And now, of course, he goes. I stopped him from moving in here before with the flashes, but now here he comes. Damn, I was so close to just walking in here and shutting this down. This is it. He's attacking me for 4, and he's going to do it twice. The first time, I try to retaliate against him. Man, I wish I had a weapon. I do 1 damage to him. I do 1 damage to him, which reduces his attack by 2 and does 1 hit. I'm going to try re-rolling the other die. I'm going to put this aside. Oh. I'm going to discard focus and short rest to make that a success. And with 2 successes, I ignore all his damage and do 2 damage to him. So, 1, 2. All right. Now he attacks me a second time. And I'm going to use my guard card. With 1 success, I reduce it by 2. And I would still be alive. Or I could try re-rolling one of them like I did before to ignore all of it. I wish this was a live stream and that anybody cared to watch so that I could ask, what should I do? I'm going to try to re-roll it because it worked before. Come on. Come on. Yeah! Oh my god, ignore all the damage. Oh, that was fun. That was worth it. We survive another round. It is the top of the new round. All we can do is walk. We're not going to survive beyond this. Oh, that is sad. move up to 1 space, but lose a heart. Lose 2 time. Spend 1 more time to drop some marbles. Oh, he's already in the space. It won't do anything, so don't lose that time. All right, I have 4 time. So all I can do is buy a guard card for 2. Yeah, just a guard card. I mean, there's nothing. The game is definitely over. This was very close. Yeah, that's it. I get one of my 0 cost cards back if I didn't already do that. Did I? I'll take short rest back, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Recycle the cards that we spent. Well, the fun of this was how long we lasted. We lasted a very long time. But now these guys move in here and they kill, which would raise the bloodlust twice. So just to do that, it goes up once and nothing happens. Then it goes up a second time and we would discard a terror card, which there are none. His damage is now 4, plus 1 is 5. So Billy is now going to do, he's going to move in here and he's going to, oh, I could have done this. I probably should have, just as my last defiance. He attacks me for 5, and of course we're going to try to guard that. And I'll discard Focus and Walk to ignore all his damage. So, haha, can't hurt me. And now he attacks me for 5. So something interesting is about to happen right here. He attacks me for 1. Boom. He's got 4 more damage. This gives me a boost of adrenaline, so I do get an extra die. Now this is going to flip over. When this flips over, the other 4 damage that he does actually are going to go away. But if there's nothing on the other side of this, it doesn't matter, I'm dead. If there is something on the other side, I get to live. Oh God, there almost never is. Shit. And that's it. That's it. I die. We had, let's see, 3 buddies. Or did we have 3 or 4? Did I kill one? No. We had 3 buddies. Nobody died. Billy and his minions took out 9 people. I saved 7 people, including the pizza guy. The janitor never did anything. Was I supposed to move him or anything? No, he can follow me. Yeah. You get like a one-time, or not one time, but you get to use him to attack. But, you know, we tried to get up to him, but all the baddies were here. We would not have survived. Well, I don't know. We could have tried to guard them, and they might have whittled us down. But we would have had the same attacks from Billy we got by moving here, which we barely survived. I don't think we could have made it through theirs as well. We played as good as we can. We took out 3 of the 4 generators. You can argue we probably could have taken out the last one. I don't think it would have had much effect on the gameplay. Let's take a look here. If we had managed to take these hearts away from Billy, we would have been adrenalized, and oh my God, he would have had that much more. So yeah, it was not in the cards. But this was a fun one. This was fun and it was harrowing, and there was a lot of close calls. I thank God had that flash camera, and I'm so glad I remembered when I did. That would have been really horrible to look back and think that I could have used that and didn't. And that's it. That's Final Girl. Bad Times at Buddyland. I really enjoy this game. I really enjoy this feature film box. It's fairly simple and straightforward, but I love this mechanic. Um, I always like the art in these games, but I do have to say the decision to make the color palette here really makes it hard to separate the characters from their backgrounds, which is especially difficult when trying to use their tokens, you know? And when there's so many on the board, like it's just a little strange. Like I love the colors that are being incorporated, but see here, there's much more contrast because the background is at least darker than, but on all the buddy cards and everything, um, the lighting is pretty good on here, but yeah, anyway, super minor. I don't. I wouldn't even call it a complaint. It's just an observation. I just found it strange, knowing like how graphic design works is a very odd decision. Also, very soft edges. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.